All right, guys, what's up? This is video number 1 of the foundations. We're going to be breaking down the core section by section, starting with the lower abs. So lower abs, that's your transverse abdominis. This is when people start talking about that natural weight belt in the body. So it's literally a weight belt inside of our body. If you look at bodybuilders who wear a belt to keep everything stabilized and tense. If you watch any big lifters, you watch someone get under a bar for a huge squat, they take that big in breath, and as soon as you take that big in breath, what do? You fill your abdominal cavity with air, creating tension, right? And then when we want to do the opposite, we just want to create tension, but with a strong contraction, we exhale all the air, push everything out. So lower abs, censored warning. I'm going to show you my stomach. It's going to get crazy. Excuse those annoying lights above me, but lower abs. We're talking about the lower abs right under your belly button, including the area around your belly button. So how do we work the lower abs? We work them by flexing at the spine, so lifting, and lifting the hips. Can you work your lower abs by just lifting your legs? Sure, but it would be a huge benefit to get those hips up, get your butt up, and get working. So let's do a quick beginner workout together, guys. I'm going to start my timer. Hey Siri, start a timer for 5 minutes. Oh, she didn't want to do that. Hey Siri, start a timer for 5 minutes. All right, we're gonna get started in 5 minutes. Squeeze those abs in. Exhale, did you see that? That's our first exercise, the stomach vacuum. So we're gonna stay down here. You can support your neck with your hands, and we take a big breath. Fill up your stomach, fill with air. Keep going, keep filling. Keep going. Now we're gonna push it all the way. Tuck, see that? Belly button tight. Let's do 3 more. Take a big breath in. Tight, 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 squeeze. Push more, breathe out, squeeze that balloon. Out, 1 more. Okay, now we've achieved that. Look at this gap in my low back. That's a no-no. We're gonna start working on pelvic tilt. Down, you see that? No more gaps. How do we get this correct? How do we get this right? Start with your knees bent. And we're gonna start going for those little arches. So arch the back, low back. Lift the hips, posterior or anterior tilt. Posterior tilt. What does that mean? These are fancy fitness words that just mean we're gonna come with here with the hips. So here's my butt. We're gonna go big arch. Push. See that difference? You might feel it in your spine immediately. Tension release. So here, this is kind of where I'm comfortable. This is where I spend a lot of my time in my day. I have a little bit of an anterior tilt because I tend to be a little bit more leaned forward all the time. And I've got that arch. And we're gonna tilt. Tilt. You're like, girl, how's that work my lower abs? This is a main stabilizer before you start lifting your legs, because if you're lifting your legs, if you're way overarched like this and you're lifting your legs, that's an ouchie. That's an uncomfortable position. So a lot of people immediately revert to, boom, support the hands, low back with the hands. Well, that's great, except in life throughout the day, you don't have something to push on your back to support. So we start working on what's called the hollow position, which is a key position. Ask any fitness person, any trainer, any athlete, what's a position they work on in core a lot, and if they don't say hollow, they should. Hollow position. We're keeping that hollow body hold, which will eventually look like this. So take a look at my arms, extended behind my head, my legs up, and that back is not arched. My back is shoved in the ground. I can't even get a pinky under there, okay? Holding that position. That is going to be one of our first positions we're going to learn to isometrically hold. But in the meantime, for now, we're going to work on legs all the way up. When you're here, you should have no gap. If you do, push. And let's take a breath here. Big breath in, fill. Exhale, squeeze. So this will be your top position for, let's say, a dragonfly, a heels to heaven. When you're here, abs are contracted, right? They're squeezing tight. I see people all the time with bulged abs. They actually have great abs, but it look like they have a beer belly because when they do their abs, watch my stomach here. When I lift, I go like this. I'm not gonna contract my abs. They're just sticking out. They're just sticking out. So really, am I working my abs? Sure. But I'm also working on them in a pretty bad position. That would be the equivalent of maybe doing a squat with your knees caved in, or doing a deadlift with a big round in your low back. Maybe not as detrimental, but this is really not good aesthetically. So watch the difference, right? When we're here, and when I'm gonna breathe, the exhale and the exertion, the squeezing, the contracting of the abs. Think about a bicep curl. When I curl up, that's my peak. When your legs are coming up, like the bicep curl, that's the peak contraction, the hardest, boom, flexing of the abs. Okay, so this is a pretty intermediate movement here, this heels to heaven. People with hip flexor pain, this is like a no-go for you, because you're like, every time I bring my legs down straight, they hurt. So what do? How do we solve that? We got our legs straight up. Take a breath. You can use your hands for support. All right, we're gonna do 15 reps just like that. Now what you notice is I'm not kicking behind me. My legs aren't going back here. They are going straight up to the ceiling, okay? Straight up to the ceiling. Let's do 15 reps right now. Take a breath. So this one, I want you to be able to do this for at least 3 sets, guys. At least 3 sets for those 15 repetitions. It's been 5 minutes. But focusing on that breathing. Every time when I come up, do I go and push all my air out? No. It's like a balloon. You blow it up and you... So by the end of the 15 reps, you're probably like, whew, I need a breath. It's okay. If you got to split them up, you do 5, you take a break, 5, take a break, 5, take a break, fine. Either way, I want to see 15 of those mini heels to heavens. And then we start progressing into full heels to heaven, extending the legs. We're going to do some hip flexor work as well. Just a quick thing at the end of the video before you guys, if you are feeling hip flexor pain, one of the worst things you can do is sit here and stretch and stretch and stretch, going like this, pushing on it. That stretch that you feel, so that was a good thing. Think about, if you pulled your hamstring, I wouldn't be like, yeah, just sit here like this for a while. So how do you stretch your hamstring or your hip flexor in a way that's a little bit safer is maintaining that little half kneel position. So I got my left knee forward, and I'm going to anteriorly tilt. This is a good time to practice that tilt. And then posteriorly tilt. Anterior, posterior. Anterior, and as soon as I come in that posterior, I feel that stretch right here in that hip flexor. If you don't, you can bring this knee a little further forward. Anterior, posterior, and you notice my posture changes a bit too. Stand up nice and tall. I got that stretch right here in that hip flexor. And then again on that other side, it's gonna be that same deal. Anterior, arch, posterior. Anterior, arch, posterior, right? Comfortable positions, we should be able to maintain the bottom of a squat. My calves are super tight right now, so that actually kind of hurts. But having those feet pointed no more than 15 degrees out and drop, should be able to maintain that position. If you have hip flexor pain here, then you definitely should be seeing a physical therapist and doing hip flexor strengthening exercises, which I will also include. Those do require a mini band. All right, so that is day 1. Video 1, lower abs. We're moving on to the upper abs next, then the obliques and serratus. Stay tuned. Thanks so much.